On July 11, 2004, competitors from around the globe converge on Brisbane, Australia to compete in the 15th International Biology Olympiad, or IBO 2004. As all other IBOs have been held during summer, it is the first time this 8-day competition has been held south of the equator, and therefore the first winter IBO. Nonetheless, Brisbane, a subtropical city, affords a temperate winter. The Minister for State Development and Innovation met some of the contingent and, in the spirit of a cultural exchange, asked some of our visitors to try some Vegemite. The jury members arrive. They are shown around their home for IBO 2004 at the Nathan campus of Griffith University. The jury members set the examinations and act as chaperones, translators, mediators, mentors, as well as undertaking unofficial ambassadorial duties. There is much respect between the jury members, made up of highly respected scientists and educators, but there is also an undertone of rivalry. There is much at stake with the winning of medals and reputations on the line. There is time for a friendly mingling of the minds, however, at the campus bar before the competition proper begins the next day. The opening ceremony is held at the UQ Centre at the University of Queensland. Firstly, officials are welcomed. Then the competitors from each participating country. The Biology Olympiad is an annual competition that enjoys a high profile throughout the world and is regarded as the Olympic Games for biology. Most teams consist of 6 people, 4 competitors and 2 team leaders or jury members. Some teams have more than 6. The competitor's role is to compete by sitting a series of theoretical and practical examinations. Many officials attended with a keen eye on the growing interest in the sciences.
Mr Michael Johnston, Minister Anna Bligh, Mr Don Cleary, Chancellors, Vice-Chancellors, distinguished guests, Olympians, ladies and gentlemen, good morning everybody and welcome to Australia, and particularly welcome to all of our overseas guests, the competitors and the jury members.
You are the best of the best in biology from each of your countries, and it's a great honour to be here with you this morning. Congratulations on making it this far. I hope you all feel very proud of that achievement, and I hope that that inspires you to do the best that you can over the next coming days.
After the official part of the ceremony, the crowd are presented with a taste of Australia's history, culture, and biodiversity. After the ceremony is the opportunity for the hosts, partners and sponsors to be officially recognised over a lunch with the Queensland Premier, Peter Beattie.
When I was at school, which is before most of you were born, science wasn't given, in my view, the priority in people's minds that it should have.
Meanwhile, the competitors are shown the labs and some of the specialised equipment they will use for the practical exams the next day.
Okay, so this is an opportunity just to revise the basic procedure of looking.
In order to make the examination process as fair as possible, the 4 members of each country are assigned a different coloured lab coat: red, green, yellow or blue. The practice tasks are done in their own country's group, but they will sit the exams proper as individuals.
Everybody, regardless of how they...
larger or smaller, and the eye you'll be able to see.
Some of these people have spent a large portion of their lives for the opportunity to compete here. These are the finest young minds in their chosen field, and this will be their silent battleground in the first part of this competition. Over the following week, the competitors and jury members will be travelling between the 3 host universities located in Brisbane: the University of Queensland, Queensland University of Technology and Griffith University. The other co-host of IBO 2004 is the Rio Tinto Australian Science Olympiads. The competitors stay at one of 2 historic colleges on the University of Queensland St Lucia campus. Of all the meals served here, the most important is breakfast. Today the competitors are fueling themselves for the slog ahead. It is practical examinations day, and the competitors know they have the opportunity to earn half of their final mark for IBO 2004. Competitors are split up into their coloured groups, and it's off to the exams. Jury members have taken great care to ensure that questions are fair and can be completed in the allotted time. All competitors must have a high degree of knowledge in the field of biology to complete these most difficult of examinations. Despite the age differences between them, the competitors all get the same questions. The IBO 2004 practical examinations were each based on a biological theme. The themes were molecular, cellular, organismal and ecological. The exam rooms are independently monitored by many highly trained supervisors and laboratory technicians. The practical exams take place all on day 3 and are held in 2 separate venues, with 2 exams at each venue. Meanwhile, the jury members take a brief but well-earned break, enjoying a cruise along the Brisbane River on the Kookaburra Queen. Many of them haven't slept for as long as 36 hours. The competitors move between each of the laboratories in their coloured lab coat groups, with the supervisors ensuring that the competitors in different groups are not able to communicate to competitors in other groups. By the end of the 8-hour day, each competitor will have completed each of the 4 different 1.5-hour examinations. After the cruise, the jury members are ferried to the historic Brisbane Town Hall for a civic reception hosted by Brisbane's Lord Mayor. This is part of the jury members' duties as representatives of their respective countries.
It's great to have something in this city that brings people from across many countries to Brisbane. It's great to have an event that actually celebrates science and the pursuit of excellence in science. I think that's very special.
The Lord Mayor's speech is followed by some words from the 2003 Queenslander of the Year and leading biologist, Professor Alan Mackay-Sim, whose underlying message was,
Back off, man, I'm a scientist.
and some words from former IBO medalist, Sarah Jones. Soon the jury members will all board onto buses and head for the city outskirts. The practical exams are nearly over. Team guides relax while they wait for their charges to re-emerge and get them ready for tonight's festivities. Team guides are volunteers who stay with the competitors throughout the competition in order to assist, guide, and generally make the lives of the competitors as comfortable as possible. Each country is assigned one guide. They are the Australian eyes and ears for the competitors. The practical exam is over. Relief on the competitors' faces. Relief on the team guides' faces too. It has been a long day for everyone. It is night time before the competitors and jury members are reunited at the Australian Woolshed on the outskirts of Brisbane. Upon arrival, the IBO are treated to a whip-cracking demonstration, showing the pioneering heritage of Australia. Then inside for an entertaining look at sheep shearing and the Australian wool industry. After a hearty bush dinner, dancing in traditional bush style. Then some dancing IBO style. Competitors, jury members and IBO 2004 volunteers alike dance till tiredness, and they're shuttled back to their respective accommodations. Day 4 is a rest day for the competitors. On buses, they head for Australia Zoo, the theme park owned and operated by crocodile hunter Steve Irwin. It's a long bus ride. Brisbane is one of Australia's largest capital cities, and it takes an hour just to reach city limits. The competitors while the time away happily enough.
Practical exam was rather difficult for us because we should be very rated and we should very quickly do every practicals.
The jury, however, have to keep things on target as the theory exam deliberations and translations are commenced.
What they're doing here is they go through all the exam paper questions for every exam. So there's 4 prac exams and there are 2 theory exams. So on Monday night we spent the night with the 4 prac exams and they go through every question, and this is where they debate as to whether they feel that their students are going to be able to understand the question or whether they think the question is relevant or whatever. They just debate whether that question is okay or it needs to be changed. Then once they have got to the end of the paper, well then they give it to a jury guide who takes to the jury office to have the copies made for the students. Then they give them the answer sheet and the copies of the paper and the envelopes that they go into. For every student has an individual envelope. It comes back up from there. We go and we stand there while they put the papers in, and it's the country's it's the country that has to be responsible for what goes into those envelopes. They also are translating. So what a lot of countries have, they either translate from Russia to their own language, or they translate from English to their language. And so normally what happens is when they get the exam papers, they'll have someone in there that's just purely doing the translating, and they'll just start translating straight away. And as changes come up, they'll make the changes on their translated paper. And it's the theory papers, they're long questions, and this process just takes so long.
With the competition of such a high standard and intensity, the jury members are committed to ensuring the best possible examinations are produced. The competitors enjoy their rest day, but they too know of the impending theoretical examinations tomorrow. Nonetheless, they are able to take in the unique delights of Australia Zoo and each other's company. Although it's called a zoo, it is actually a theme park, with much of Australia's unique fauna roaming free for visitors to experience firsthand. The competitors and team guides spent most of the day taking in what the zoo had to offer.
But they do occasionally fall out of the tree. Okay guys, I'm going to walk around now with, I'm going to walk around with tennis. Seeing as how Bungles is a little bit too relaxed there.
Hey, why do I have to crouch all the time?
Then comes time to leave. On the drive back, the competitors enjoy what their jury counterparts cannot. Jury members only break for meals and coffee. They have a long night ahead of intensive analysis and debate of the many questions in the theoretical examinations. Translations for some countries continue till 7:30 next morning. The day arrives when competitors will undergo the theoretical examinations, which for some is the most grueling aspect of the IBO. The theory exams are sat at the Gardens Point campus of Queensland University of Technology, also the home of the IBO 2004 headquarters. The competitors wait nervously before going in. IBO 2004 staff have ensured the correct test is assigned to each person and that the environment is perfect for the competitors. Under the ever-watchful eye of supervisors, the competitors have hundreds of questions to answer in 2.5-hour exams with a lunch break in the middle. Their efforts will not go unrewarded, as the most important aspect of the IBO is to participate and to enjoy the challenge of arguably the world's most demanding biology examinations. The competitors have a total of 5 hours of this to look forward to. The jury members, however, break for lunch, discussing the finalising of the marking scheme for the practical and theoretical exams. There is a long day ahead of them. The competitors' ordeal ends with the finish of the theory exam. In some respects, this is where the real work begins for the jury members. Everyone is confident, however, that all will be done in time. The time comes and marks the end of another day of grueling exams. Team guides and competitors can then reflect.
It was very, very good.
Wasn't too bad, was it?
No, it wasn't so bad. Not sure. Could go either way.
All of the participants of IBO 2004 are then treated to a private evening session at SeaWorld, a marine animal theme park and entertainment complex. First, a demonstration at Dolphin Cove.
The more noise you make, the more the boys will show off. And they make great dancing partners as well.
Followed by an address by Baroness Professor Susan Greenfield, who provided inspiration as well as a timely reminder as to what the IBO stands for.
Yes, I'm here to announce the winners now, actually. The winners are... Can you guess who the winners are? All of you. Give yourself a round of applause. Hey. All of you are winners because all of you have done an amazing thing to be chosen by your country to come to this amazing other side of the world for most of us.
Then, a tour of Shark Bay. SeaWorld opens its rides to IBO 2004, and all take part in the fun. It starts to rain. In Queensland, the rain is so warm they call it liquid sunshine. In IBO 2004 terms, they call it dancing weather. For the competitors, the stress of competition is over and they can relax. No such joy for the jury members, as they have another day of checking the marking and scoring of the examinations. It's the end of the week and the day before the closing ceremony. The end of the event draws to a close, and there's the impending departures to look forward to. The last of the excursions is the Green and Gold bus tour. Green for the rainforest of the Gold Coast hinterland, gold for the beaches. This is a chance for them to sample some of Queensland's biodiversity, whilst creating some biodiversity of their own. The competitors divulge what the IBO represents to them. Is it the competition? Although for many their careers and scholarships may hinge on their success here, for them it's about
very good opportunity to see people, to see their cultures, to have friends from other countries, because I have never traveled alone.
But I had no idea what it really was gonna be, and it's beyond. I can't describe it. It's amazing.
I think the IBO is versus itself, and the medals, they are of course important, but not the most important thing of them.
Meanwhile, not only are deliberations on the theory exam not settled, they have yet to be marked, and the marks are needed for the medal tally to begin. Throughout the IBO 2004, independent assessors are recording their observations and thoughts on every aspect of the examinations and how the IBO is conducted.
I believe I'm correct that all of us were extremely impressed with the professionalism and the efficiency with which the practicum and the theory exam this morning was run, in the way that the security was enforced, the way the students were treated and moved around from various examination site to examination site.
The tools were very helpful, and I should say I have never seen such efficient team working around doing a thing.
And I think that finishes my report. My only regret is that I didn't bring a team, because I would really also have loved to see my students along with all of yours. Thank you.
IBO 2004 is an unparalleled success.
optimism and that sense of satisfaction that a top job's been done, which has made people just so happy to be a part of IBO 2004.
Then it's back to business. Everything is agreed to amicably and unanimously with hours to spare before the closing ceremony the next day. The closing ceremony marks the end of a very successful event. All competitors receive certificates acknowledging their participation in IBO 2004 and their success in representing their nation. Then the medals are awarded. First the bronze, then silver, and lastly the gold medals.
Let me therefore thank to all who enabled us to be present at this Olympiad and who contributed to its success.
Australia receives a trophy of thanks from the IBO Coordinating Centre. Then the trophy that travels from host to host of the IBO is itself handed on to China, the host of IBO 2005. In keeping with the rest of IBO 2004, the closing ceremony is an unqualified success. The event winds up with a sumptuous meal at the Brisbane Hilton Hotel.
Tonight is an occasion to celebrate the success that
They'll be leaving tomorrow, so it's the best opportunity for everyone to get in their earnest goodbyes, where the behind-the-scenes staff are congratulated.
Many people to thank. I'm not sure where to start and quite honestly where to stop, but other than to say it's been a really great privilege and great pleasure.
And the competitors, jury members, volunteers and staff alike can rest after many months and years of preparation. The time to leave arrives for most countries. For some, this has been a kick-start to their careers. For others, it has been the opportunity to hone their skills as biologists. But for all, IBO 2004 has been an opportunity to meet like-minded souls and to take part in the sampling of Australian culture.
Bye! I love IBO 2004 in Australia. I like it, yeah. We have fun.